Hello, hello. Good afternoon. Good evening, everyone.
All right.
Hello, hello, hello. Good evening, good afternoon, everybody. While we wait a couple minutes for folks to join, if you'll just drop in the chat who is in the room with us today. Just drop who you're representing, whether you're a parent, community member, caregiver, and what school or cluster that you are here. And if you're here for multiple schools, drop them all in. Additionally, if you guys want to be seen, I'd love to see you. Feel free to turn on your camera so it doesn't feel like a radio show. That was a joke. I guess if I could see you, I would see your smiles and your laughter. But welcome again. We're going to give it just give it 2 more minutes. And so we have Abby Greenbaum from Finch. Welcome.
Hello.
Okay, and we have hello Rebecca from Douglas High School and both and the PTA. Oh, the PTSAVP. Let's go. We got some leadership in the room. We're all leaders, so welcome, welcome. Anyone else want to shout out your school or your cluster? Feel free to drop that. So what we're going to do, like we've done in previous meetings, we'll start with me going through some quick updates, and then I will be quiet. And so this is not necessarily a traditional board meeting. This is a community meeting, so it's run a little bit different. So this is in response to someone asking about public comment. So what we're going to do is I'm going to give some updates at the beginning, and then I'm going to be quiet and I'm going to listen, and then we will share the space or the microphone. You don't necessarily have a 2 minute limit, but I do ask you to be mindful of the fact that there are multiple folks in the room and multiple people that want to say something. So we'll just do one question at a time and then rotate through until everyone has had a chance to ask their questions. So that's the long answer. The short answer is soon. So, Keith, if we could just go ahead and get right into it. Hello, my name is Aretta, if y'all didn't know, and I am your District 2 representative on the Atlanta Board of Education. And we're going to start with some good news. The APS graduation rates have been released, and we achieved a 90.5% graduation rate for cohort 2025. And this is up in comparison to where we were last year, as well as in comparison to the state. Additional details will follow later in regards to specific schools and specific school data. Next slide. I want to highlight that a couple of weeks ago, we had a reception where we recognized or were recognized by the Braves. So basically, what's going to happen is the Atlanta Braves, in conjunction with the Atlanta Braves Foundation and the Henry Louis Aaron Fund, they are going to redo every infield of every operating high school baseball and softball field with turf. And so that's going to be huge. They're going to do some other updates in terms of to the dugouts, but they're doing this to bring our program and our facilities up to date. And again, it's going to be turf versus grass, so that's going to save a lot on maintenance as well as reduce delays. So that's really exciting that we were able to help that. And they brought us down to the Braves. And Billy Aaron was there, as you can see in that picture. And we invited the athletic directors as well as the baseball and softball coaches. So this is huge. And it is going to start with Washington High School, and I believe Douglas will be one of the first four that will get their fields done. And this will happen over the next year. We can go to the next slide. So I want to highlight, if y'all are not aware yet, hold on, let me get a sip of water. But the ABS Student and Family Support Hub is located in District 2. It is located on Thomas Cole Jr. Way, which is right situated next to Clark Atlanta University and Morris Brown across from Friendship Baptist. It's in the old Oglethorpe Elementary School. And this facility is open to all APS families. And just today, we did a food drive, and they happen every month at the end of the month. So the next drive that's coming up would be November 24th. And the one after that is December 29th. They do start at 10 and go until supplies last. They hope for 12, but I don't think the protein lasted until 12 today. So it's good to get there earlier in the shift. If you can go to the next slide, we can look at the other things that the hub has at its location. So there's also a Gooder, a grocery and department store that's right there in the hub. And there's a walk-in grocery store that's open 2 days a week. You just need to make an appointment. So jot down that number. And there's also other services that exist in that building. So the Office of Student Discipline is there, Department of School Counseling, social work, where you can go and get foster care support, homeless support, the Department of Psychological Services, the Office of Student Records and Assignment, and their multi-tiered systems. The multi-tiered systems of support department is there, as well as health services. So there's a lot of support and there's a lot of services right there in one building, right there in District 2. So jot that down and use that for your own information, as well as please share. I look to you all as ambassadors within the district to share the information that you hear with other families. I apologize for that noise in the background. Hold on one second. Okay, there we go. I needed to get unmuted so that we'll move on to the next slide. So, of course, the thing that a lot of folks may be here to talk about is the APS forward. And I don't know what happened to my slide. That D accidentally got capitalized again. Um, but as you know, as we are in the process of doing the comprehensive long range facilities planning. And we have had scenarios, we've had refined scenarios, and we've had refined scenarios. And I believe there's going to be one more refinement that is going to come out before it comes to the board. And I believe that's coming out tomorrow. So this information that we are going to talk about today is based on what we all know, which are the current scenarios. So if we can move into that, so these are the current scenarios as of today at 6:10, actually slightly before that. If you can move to the next slide, Keith. So within this is going to focus on District 2. So what's in the current round of refinements is that Kipsall Primary and Academy is proposed to repurpose. Finch Elementary and Perkison Elementary are proposed to combine at a converted Sylvan Hills Middle School facility. And then Perkison, Finch, and Gideon's elementary schools are proposed to join the Washington cluster. And then the other schools within that area, Slater and Price, are proposed to join the South Atlanta cluster. And then Hollis Innovation is currently proposed to remain a K-8 school as opposed to converting to a K-5. Moving into Carver cluster, we're looking at a School of the Arts at the Carver campus, and it's proposed to expand to become a 6-12 as opposed to just a 9-12, so a 6-12, and district-wide. And the school would give preference to students in the current Carver cluster. Early college is proposed to be 9-12 and also would be district-wide. And then Dunbar Elementary School is proposed to have its boundary realigned, to be repurposed, and its boundary to be realigned between Bamo, Benteen, and Parkside. And for some reason, I accidentally deleted a bullet point, and that is a bullet point around FL Stanton, and it is being proposed to repurpose and some of that area to go into Washington cluster, and then the other to go into the Douglas cluster. So those are top level where we stand specific to District 2. So we're going to put a pin on that in a moment. I'm going to move on to real quick because I'm guessing that we'll have a lot of conversation around there. Overall updates. There was a really, really good budget presentation on September 30th. I encourage you all to go and check that out. It really dives deep into the budget, where we've been, where we're going. It's very informative and a really good presentation. In terms of technology, you can stay connected by taking advantage of our partnership with Lean Stream Connectivity. Keith, if you can drop that link in, or if we send this deck out later, folks can be able to click on that link so they can get Wi-Fi on the go, but there is Wi-Fi available, as well as some device protection. Our Talk It Out initiative has been featured in our local media for its impact in helping Atlanta public schools. So I want to shout that out. We have tried a number of different resources that we can provide to our students in terms of mental health support. So it's nice when one of them gets some traction and use. It's Hispanic Heritage Month, so the reading challenge, wait a minute. I think we might, apologies. We just missed that Hispanic Heritage Month reading challenge. This deck was prepared for earlier, but we did do a Hispanic Heritage Month reading challenge. So those, and then there are some athletic updates. We are in football season, flag football season. So there's a lot going on between flag football, varsity football. There's a swim and dive classic that's going to kick off at the Washington Park and Auditorium. I'm guessing that is Saturday. And then there's also cross country going on. So if you want to get outside and support the kiddos, there's an opportunity for you to do that in these spaces. So I am now going to be quiet. I'm going to add the caveat that the scenarios that are currently on the table are live and liquid. Nothing has been final. The first vote will be in the November board meeting. That will be the first read. And then we will go to final read in December. Things can change between November and December with community feedback. So if you have something to say and you have something to share, please do that. Please exercise your right. Please raise your voice and make sure that I don't just know, but the administration and facilities folks know as well. So now I'm going to be quiet. Take a sip of water, and then I'm going to turn it over to Keith to recognize individuals for comment and questions.
Yep. So thank you, Board Member Baldwin, and good evening, everyone. Welcome to our October District 2 community meeting. Board Member Baldwin, do you want to move into just everything, all public comment, or you want to go to a specific area?
It's wide open, right?
All right.
I asked that that if you have something other than facilities, to maybe let's try to address that first.
Okay.
So we make sure that your issue or your question gets addressed. So y'all will just do that by how you raise your hands.
Yep.
But ultimately we've got time, and I'm here.
All right. So as Board Member Baldwin stated, as we do for all of our meetings, if you do have a question, concern, or just some feedback to provide, we do ask you raise your hand, and we'll place you into a queue, and we'll call on you as we see you up here. Got us a choir group on a Monday. I made you a co-host. You should be able to unmute. Let's see.
Okay, let me unmute. So it is a quiet group. I guess the rain and the cool air has folks a little quiet. But also, no, I do want to say that you don't have to wait until this moment or this time to reach out or to offer input, you can always go, you can always give me a call, you can send an email, you could go online to Let's Talk. So if there's ever something that you want to share, that you do not have to wait. Um, I'm not the hand raising feature may change depending on what device you're using, but should I take that to mean that you would like to raise your hand? We can go ahead and
Her hand is
acknowledge.
up. Abby's hand is up.
There's also
Oh, somebody in the
uh
chat.
uh I don't want to butcher your name, but Showspire Boykin, who also I think
Oh,
has
gotcha.
raised it.
If she's in the chat.
I think
I
Abby was telling her how to raise or them how to raise their hand.
gotcha. All right, so we'll take Abby and then we'll move
Is it
to the.
Niyamake? You can correct me when you get on the mic. Thank you.
All right, so we'll go Abby first and then we'll move to her or that person.
Niyamke. Okay, Abby.
Okay, hi, thank you.
Hi.
Um, and I appreciate you answering my question because I know Finch is moving to District 6, but I know you've also been involved with the school for a long time. So
Yes,
I,
forever. I love Finch. So
yeah,
you are always welcome.
okay.
Always welcome, especially given the fact that you might be coming into the
Yeah, which
Washington cluster. So
yes,
double
yes,
welcome.
which is exciting. I think that part is exciting.
I agree.
Other parts not so much.
Okay,
Well,
let's hear about it.
and I think you just said that there's one more refinement coming. Is that going to be on the website, the facilities plan website? Okay.
Everything should be on the facilities website. I'm not exact sure of timing. I think it's going to be tomorrow, and it I don't know exactly what's changing. It shouldn't be anything dramatic. It may be
Okay.
some little tweaks, but just know that there may be some changes.
Okay. So the question I have then is that in all the meetings I've been to, all the scenarios we've seen, I haven't really heard conversation about something like what's being proposed for Finch and Perkerson now, where instead of one school closing and other boundaries being redrawn, you actually are closing two schools and combining them into some kind of new school. So, one of the things I've heard a lot from in our community is just this sense of like, they're taking our school away. We're losing our school. It's not going to be in our neighborhoods anymore. In that building, we would probably lose our walking routes. So, I guess my question is like, what does it look like when you combine two schools into one at a third location? What's that process, and how do we make sure that there's like a sense of ownership and belonging for both communities going into that?
That's a great question. And my, and I'm going to say assumption because I am speaking from Aretta. I'm not running this process, but from what I understand, both the communities would be engaged and there will be conversations in terms of what does that look like. Um, and if there's anyone from administration on the phone that can speak to it. There are a couple of schools that have a scenario like that that's been proposed. And initially I was thinking, well, does that make sense? But the thinking is we need top notch facilities, and it would be more efficient to build a new facility to serve these children than to backfit an old facility. So the specifics for that is truly an administration question, but what I would ask you to do is to provide input on what are the types of things that we need to think about, right? And so we start that conversation. So I didn't quite answer your question because I don't have an answer, but based on policy, there will need to be engagement with the communities to build what that new school would look like. And so that may be what the next round of engagement will look like from administration. I don't know if you guys have, if you've been following this process with each round there, it goes deeper into, okay, so what does that look like? And so now we're getting into the specifics in terms of what does that programming look like, or what would that school look like? So this would be a great time to stay engaged, and to make sure that you're providing your feedback and point of view in terms of how you're going to be impacted, because you know firsthand because you were going to the school, right? So apologies for the long answer, but I hope that I gave some insight. Keith, if you could unmute Carolyn Barnett,
Oh,
I think she's got something to offer.
I made all of you co-hosts. You should be able to. I know she's in driving.
Now that I
I'm,
don't know how.
I'm,
Okay, there she is.
I'm, I was trying. Thank you so much, Board Member Baldwin. You are so correct. The next iteration of engagement will be, what does the future look like for the communities that may be merging? So these are opportunities for people to come together and just give ideas of what could that possibly be when you're sharing the same space. So we look forward to another round of community meetings.
And technically, right now, I'm operating under all the district lines. So I'm operating from Finch all the way up. So I'm all of District 2 old and new is I'm considering my district. Any let's see,
Yep.
Neum K.
Let me see, can I find her?
He.
I'm sorry.
It's okay.
Oh, him. I'm sorry about that.
Hey, you guys hear me?
Yes, we can hear you now.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, my name is definitely. I've gotten the woman thing happen before, so I understand. But anyway, no, that's okay. No worries. Yeah, but I was actually gonna speak or bring up something that's actually it's related, but also kind of in a different segment. It's having to do with facilities, though.
Okay.
So what is it? We're actually me and my partner Tandi. She's on the call too. She was gonna ask the question, but since you called me out, I just went ahead and just I'm gonna go and talk about it. But it's a place off of Bridges Avenue called Hartnett Farm, or it's also called Historic Hartnett Garden or Hartnett Community Garden if you go on Google and see it. But there's a very important place there that we've been gardening in for over like around like 4 years now. But it's also been stewarded by a lot of other people, a lot of other growers. I don't want to get too much to the details on this call, but I was just bringing it up and bring it to your attention that it's. I was just wanting to know what if there are any plans for that property, because the property is actually owned by APS, and we reached out to Miss Lucretia Long and Caprice Stokes to talk about what the actual property was going to be used for in the future, because right now there's a lot of development going on in the area, and we don't know exactly what's going to happen, because right now it's owned by APS, and they had an MOU with it's owned by APS, and I was just wanting to figure out exactly to secure the future. And we just we knew that APS's role, or you guys' three pillars, having to do with community engagement, historic preservation, and affordable housing. And so we've been doing a lot of work in the community. We do mutual aid there at the garden, and it's a historic site where like the actual preschool that was there was the model for the preschools throughout the entire APS or entire Atlanta system.
Okay. So what I would suggest that you do is continue your conversations directly with administration, because they would be the ones that handle that right now. There are some properties that have been identified to for development. There were 8 properties, and we've had conversations about 2 of them. I'm not exactly sure about the property that you're referring to. So what you could do is send me an email directly in regards to what it is that you're doing and what your question is, and I can point you in the right direction for you to continue those conversations.
Awesome. Cool. Yeah, I was thank you so much.
You're
Mrs.
welcome.
Mulder.
You're welcome. And it's a Ms.
Miss.
And now we have
Rosa.
I'm having some reading problems today. Ms. T. Twandalaya. Please give me the correct pronouncement of your name when you come off of mute.
Hi, can you hear me?
I can't hear you. Will you pronounce your name for me?
Yes, it's Tondalea.
Tondalea.
Yeah,
I would have gotten there if I spent just a little bit more time. Thank
it's
you,
okay.
Tondalea.
It's okay. I also go by Tondi, and I don't have my headphones. I'm in a coffee shop, so I apologize for any sound. But yeah, Nyonke actually put his hand up because I was having issues on my laptop. I'm used to being on my phone. I couldn't find it, so I was gonna respond. But he did, but it was in regards to the same site.
Okay.
Yeah, just generally because we were told that in 2026, they're basically we don't really know what's going to happen, but there's going to be development and it's not clear of like what is going to happen. But we just want to secure a meeting so we can secure the future of the site because it's a very historic site. And a lot of the work that we do, we don't want to just see the work going to waste. And we would like to create like an innovative, like a center that is a hub for innovation, sustainability. We both do agriculture education. And there's just a lot. I don't want to get too much into it because you just answered his question. But yeah, we've just been trying to figure out how we can secure a meeting and just figure out like what are the plans for the site and how we can preserve the site so we don't lose the history as well as just the work that's being done because it's very important just that site like exists. Yeah.
Okay, so yes, definitely send me an email to one, educate me, and then two, we'll get you connected and see what your next steps would be from there. Do we have any other raised hands? So again, I'm going to point out the fact that there will be another refinement to the scenarios that's going to come out before our meeting. You can send me an email, leave me a message with any feedback. We'll have the first read is November 4th, 3rd. That our meeting, they moved it when our next meeting is. It's not Monday, it is
I think it's that Tuesday. I think it may be the 5th.
okay.
No, the
Yes,
4th.
the 5th. It's on the 5th.
It's on the 5th. So that's on
Yes.
Wednesday.
Yes. So the first read will be on that Wednesday, and then again the second read will be in December, and nothing is final until the final read. And right now the final read is scheduled for December. I'm going to type my email address out here for you all, just in case you don't have it. And again, I am going to encourage you guys to check out that last budget commission meeting. It was incredibly informative. And I believe worth the time to watch. And if there are no,
We have one more hand up, Rebecca.
okay, all right.
Hello, good evening, everyone.
Good
Just
evening.
one quick question there. Were there any other discussions? I mean, and I just looked at the long range plan. I didn't see anything, and I know it's, I know it's still very much fluid, but were there any unexpected boundary changes for the Douglas High School? I know there's parts in the cluster that will changing with the elementaries, but in particular to the high school, were there any other boundary shifts?
Not that I'm aware of. I think the big thing that's going to be impacting the high school is going to be the consolidation of the ninth grade academy with the main building. That's going to be the big thing that's going to be impacting the high school.
Okay, thank you.
And like you said, it is fluid, it is active, and some of the elementary boundaries have changed. So FL Stanton, some of those children will come into the Washington cluster and some will stay. So that would be a change as well. But other than those, I do not think so. Oh, I guess, well, the other thing I'll point out, not exactly the high school, but in that Douglas cluster area is the proposal that KIPS will be repurposed. And so that is kind of in that northwest area as well. Any other questions?
And while we wait for that, Board Member Bond, I do want to let you know that at large seat 9, Board Member Jessica Johnson is on the call as well.
Hey, Jessica Johnson is in the house. Jessica, I don't mean to put you on the spot and shoot me a quick text if I'm out of line, but if there's is there anything you want to share in regards to some services that might be happening at Washington soon and Douglas? And that may be a nice teaser for y'all. Okay, there she goes.
Hi, good evening, everyone. Thank you so much, Board Member Baldwin, for giving me a moment of your time. Yes, I want to share that my nonprofit, the Scholarship Academy, will be providing scholarship prep support at Douglas and Washington high schools this academic year. We actually met with the Douglas counseling team today. And so if you have students at either of those schools, they have an opportunity to sign up for our first scholarship pop-up lab that is happening within the next week or two. And so I would encourage you to have them check in with their counselors so they can get more information about this one-on-one support to find private scholarships, because we know federal aid is changing, institutional aid is changing, and we want to make sure that APS students, particularly at Douglas and Washington, have information on how they can go to college without going into debt.
Thank you, Jessica, so much for that. And again, apologies for putting you on the spot, but it was something super exciting. And I wanted you guys all to hear fresh off the presses that we're getting some additional support around scholarships, because Achieve Atlanta is amazing. Pell Grants are great, but they don't cover all the costs. And so this is a wonderful opportunity for you to find private money to keep you out of debt. That is, if you are going down that route. And I do not think I see any other questions. So I appreciate you all for taking the time out with me. And I'm contemplating maybe in December we meet together in person and toast the wonderful year with some apple cider or something like that. So if that sounds like something that you might be interested in joining in person versus online for a December get together, then shoot me just a quick note and let me know that that's something that you're open to. I would love to see y'all's faces and to give some hugs. I don't know if y'all know I am not seeking reelection, and so these will be my last couple of months serving you all, and I would love to serve you in person if we can in December. So hopefully we can make that happen. Ooh, I see someone said a cookie exchange party. So Cameron, please reach out to me and let's see what we can do to bring this to life, so we can break a little bread and toast a great year and what's to come. All right. So thank y'all. Y'all so quiet. I feel like like a radio host. I need to get a radio job here on Live with Aretta, because I can't see anybody. But but thank y'all. I know there's some people here, and I appreciate you for joining. And you enjoy the rest of your evening. All righty? Okay. Keith, you'll stay on right quick.
Okay.
We're not going to talk about nothing, but y'all can stay. Thank you, Keith. That's all I wanted to say. I appreciate you. All right. We'll talk.
No problem. Appreciate you. We'll talk. All right.
All right.